As students, aspirants of management education, I hope my videos are giving some insights into how do you choose your institution or how do you proceed further in your career when you're looking at management, higher management subjects. This time I got a couple of calls from some of the mentees asking me to cover the boot camp, part of it with other specialization. I have started with marketing management specialization, and I've covered one or two sessions in that. So since there is a request coming from the students who are going to opt for other specialization as well, I thought I would cover this, one by one, and then come back on the various subjects which are covered in PDM program, in detail. So this time I have chosen human resource management. So it's very, very important because it's nothing but a people management. Understand one thing very, very clearly in a PGDM institution. When you are selecting a good institution, getting job in HR field will be much better compared to the second and third rank institutions. The reason why I'm saying this very clearly, I have handled at the highest level of business schools, good branded business schools, and I've also seen the second rank B schools who are not capable of even placing HR students properly. Primarily, the reason is the number of HR companies visiting the campus are very few. You must understand very clearly that HR number of vacancies are also less. Even as of today, almost 65 to 70% of the placements happen only in marketing related specialization. And they are, extension of marketing to digital marketing, AI, retail marketing, retail. So all these, placements are really happening there. So every job has got a selling, concept. Every job, including the HR job. So if you land up in an institution which is a second or third rank, then don't dream of a big HR job. It's not going to happen. Let me be very, very clear with you because even if you get a couple of companies, one or two companies, they will take you as a recruitment person who will be making calls to recruit people. So you can't actually manage attritions. You can't actually build capability because you're a fresher. So if that is the case, so if you are getting admission, say in XLRI, TIS, IMI, MDI, SPJN, IMD Ghaziabad, a few to mention, or ISB, probably you will be getting some opportunities in HR job as well. Otherwise, don't waste your time, dreaming that you're going to get a good HR job. That's not going to happen. So now let's come to the boot camp part of it. Now I'm going to cover a subject called OB. Is an abbreviation for organizational behavior, which is a foundation for HR itself. When you talk about HR specialization, it starts with organizational behavior (OB), and OB is very closely related to psychology. So if you look at the components of OB, you will be finding it very interesting to look at how people are connected through this subject and how this subject can be effectively used. There are a couple of subjects which are favorite to me. I, being a professor of change management and organizational development, OB also I do teach, and I have a passion and a fascination for this subject when you really want to get into teaching. And I use, basically case studies more, movies, and the real life examples. That is how I teach these subjects. So it's not about delivering concepts alone. To make you understand what is the concept, how do you remember to expand that and apply that in the industry, you must understand the foundation of the course very, very clearly. So the first thing is understanding behavioral psychic. It's a process by itself. So, I have used something called a movie called Pygmalion. Again, the Drucker employing, Drucker employing styles. and then it is called the Whole Man, Drucker employing Robbins chapters. The book by Robbins are wonderful to read to understand how human beings behave in different situations. And then when you talk about Pygmalion, it is also called Rosenthal effect. What does it mean? Is basically the high expectations lead to improved performance. That's what people think, and in my view, it's both these things are self-fulfilling prophecy, whether your output is low or high. And using this theory and movie, probably you will be able to learn when high expectation to perform is there, you have to build so many things along with that. And if that is not happening and it's going to be low performance, then the prophecy itself is on both the sides. So self fulfilling prophecy. So that is the first chapter probably will be touching upon understanding human behavioral psychic process. And the second major chapter in organizational behavior will be learning styles and problem solving orientation. So when you are learning, your learning has to be focused on understanding the subject, gaining the knowledge, and what styles you will use to solve problems. So it has to be mind has to work on problem solving, not creating a problem. So that is the second part of the big chapter on organizational behavior I would look at. And the third one is very interesting and it happens every day in our life is understanding human behavior. What do you mean by that? So when you talk about the outline for the course, and probably I will put it this way: perception and emotions, how people perceive you and others, and how you're emoting to those perception. Normally I use a case called Ruskin. It's interesting to read how the perceptions are, sometimes it is imagined and sometimes it is real. But when the emotions clap along with the perception, then it becomes reality and people look at in different goggles upon you. So you must understand, and you should also look at how do you look at others. So that is the main chapter of learning styles and problem solving orientation. And then the understanding human behavior I talked about. And the fourth chapter, the big chapter, is personality profiles. And when you talk about personality profile, I'll be talking personality as a function of only delivering what is required for the situation. Yes, everybody will have, personality is generally not changeable as such. It is traits can be manipulated, but personality will remain as per the psychology as it is. It sets in sometime from years of 5 years of your age to 30 years. After that, it's very difficult to change a personality. That's what the psychology says. And of course, there are deliberations on that. It is not so we can always change it. I am not in favor of that. And in that personality profile, probably I'll be using something called Stephen Covey. All of you must have heard about it. So studying the 7 habits of highly effective people will make you understand how the personality profile can be changed by you if you really want to change, if you're young enough to change. And you can really build on a better personality looking at these inputs or insights from them. The second one probably I will use is the Indian author called Deepak Chopra, who talks about 7 laws of spirituality. So here he is bringing spirituality into this subject, but definitely the psychology is dependent on, if you're moving towards spirituality, the way you're broadening yourself will be different from others. So it definitely helps in organizational behavior when you talk about working with teams. The outcomes probably I'll be looking at is awareness of personality, and types of personality, and the attitude, and your interpersonal competencies. So all these things are covered in this outline chapter. And the fifth one is very, very important when I talk about OB subject is motivational profile. So all of you must be aware of what is motivation. I don't have to explain. And there are two types of motivations. One is extrinsic, and other one is intrinsic. So extrinsic is through external motivation. It could be money, it could be rewards, it could be recognition. And intrinsic happens through self-realization, and you also have a passion to do something, and you want to really deliver something the best possible to your level. So that is called intrinsic motivation. So you understand from this theory, motivational profile of you and your preferences and your temperament of handling situation. So motivating self and motivating others, both are definitely covered. There are case studies, normally I pick up from General Electric, I pick up from some of the motivational of Wipro, motivational theories, and then how it is applied there, and then Infosys, Indian company, and Intel Corporation, again, how do they motivate? And so the work motivation is something which you need to understand when you go to the industry. So there I use a case study. Olivetti is it was existing company earlier. And then work motivation, probably best you can learn from Olivetti, Xerox, and again Infosys, then General Electric. And what do we gain from this work motivation plan? Probably the outcomes could be operational strategy for for motivation. So how organization should plan their strategy, taking into consideration the motivation factors at workplace. So that's what is the outcome of this chapter of work motivation from OB. And the next chapter is leadership. So when you do all this thing, you're also building leadership in an organization, and all of you are going to become leaders sometime or other. It will not immediately happen. It will happen over a period of time when you address all this issue and you really grow in your organization. So, here again, I would like to use a case study called the Super Team case, which I normally use. And then the leadership is, for the emerging business scenario is very, very important. It's not about, we talk about leadership theory of 80s, 90s, because the millennial workforce has changed quite a bit. So you need to understand what sort of leadership is emerging in the business scenario. And if you talk about today, post COVID, even things are changing drastically. So what sort of motivation will work, and how it translate into good leadership of emerging business units and emerging business scenario. So it basically talks about your competencies and leadership development and styles of leadership, the new types of leadership which are coming up, in recent times, and then what sort of inputs, the people will be looking at. And PGDM course, this OB course should give that kind of practical exposure. And if you land into good PGDM institution, definitely you learn quite a bit, and then you will probably become eligible to get into a good HR job. But as I told you, please keep it in mind, HR jobs are very few. So you need to actually study this specialization in branded institutions which are known for HR, like I mentioned earlier. And when you talk about leadership, next is naturally is the dynamics of interrelationship. When you talk about intergroup relationship, that means the leadership, when it grows, it has to manage lots of teams. It could be cross-functional. It could be inter-companies. The HR head has got a role to play as a strategy master of bringing people together and allowing them to grow and keeping them always highly motivated, showing them the career path for them. So these are the main, chapters I will be looking at organizational behavior. Yes, it is very closely related to psychology. And last but not the least, the good B school, cover with the presentation of live projects. When I was working for IMI as a professor, I have learned a lot of things from Professor Bhupen Srivastava. He's a PhD from Southern Illinois University, USA. and he has, you know, to his credit, more than 7, 8 books, especially the organizational development case studies he's written. It is, a book suggested even across IIMs. So you must have a look at it, the case studies of organizational development by Bhupen Srivastava. And I have learned a lot of things from him on this subject, because he's a man who's got hands-on experience and is a professor emeritus now. And it is always good to learn from these legends. And the hands of experience, when you talk about it, is the applications of potential key concepts when you go to the industry. So you have to do a live project in organizational behavior, understanding different interrelations when you talk about presentations. How do you manage conflicts, and how do you actually find conflict resolution, and how do you manage high performance team, how do you build capability. So these are all the interconnected things which will be handled in different sub subjects of organizational behavior. I will be covering that in performance management as well, how these things are measured. But understanding the foundation of organizational behavior through OB subject is very, very important. I will come back to you with the organizational development and change management, which are very closely related to organizational behavior. Thank you so much for listening to me, and have a great day.